doing today? Listen, we are live outside the courthouse. Here you go. Baby, today is going to be a big day for the Diddy trial. We know so much is going on. We are going to talk about it. Listen, what's going on? Juror number seven's fate is actually going to be decided. We repeat, juror number seven's fate is actually going to be decided. But also with the third juror at this point, today, the judge is going to decide whether, if not one, but two more jurors actually get dismissed. If you guys don't know, Diddy is pushing for juror number seven. Now, we do not actually know if the juror's actual number is seven. We are just saying because after six comes seven. It could be a he, she, they, them. It could be juror number 3, 8, 12. We are using seven because seven is our lucky number. Juror number seven, Diddy's team has brought up a lot of issues. They want him gone. Now, this is a stark contrast to last week when they were crying about the sanctity of the trial and how we must let jurisprudence. Now, all of a sudden, right, they want that juror out there. That's why we are assuming that the juror is not black or maybe even not male in any way. Diddy seems to think that if he can get black or black adjacent men on the jury, that he will be okay and they will let him off. I don't understand what type of misogynistic thinking that is. I'm not a man. Maybe they see something I don't. Oddly enough, the dismissed juror actually came out this weekend and did an interview. Again, the dismissed juror number 6, came out and did an interview. He said that he didn't even know who Diddy was. Boy, you from the Bronx. You are from the Bronx. And you trying to tell me you don't know who Diddy is? Now listen, you might not be impressed with Diddy. You might not be starstruck with Diddy. But you're literally trying to tell me that you don't understand who Diddy is? Right. You got that. He also went on to say some other crazy stuff, okay? And again, nothing against him, but what he said sounded a little crazy. For instance, he said that he doesn't even know basically who Diddy is. He never listened to Diddy's music. He listens to like reggaeton and Latino music. I think they kept saying black men. He said, I assume all the rumors about, I don't know, is he Afro? I don't know, but he says that he doesn't listen to all that music. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. Let me tell you something. I'm not a fan of Diddy. I'm not. And when Bad Boy was popping, I wasn't even really a fan. It's a little bit before my time. Listen, I just don't, I'm not a fan. But I find it laughable that anybody that lives in New York that is over the age of 25 is trying to say that you didn't know any Bad Boy artists, you don't have any opinion of Bad Boy artists, and you didn't even listen to Bad Boy artists. As much as I can't stand Diddy, if you are over 25, there is some cultural reference to Diddy. And the fact that he's trying to act like, I didn't even know who he is, I could have been unbiased, it makes me think that maybe Judge Arun was right. Maybe you did want to be on this trial, and you were putting your finger on the thing of the jury because you wanted to be on this trial. Now, it could be because it was high profile. Could be because you had an agenda. It could have been a lot of things. But you just giving, right? You just giving that interview and acting like you literally just dropped down here in America. And again, Diddy was global. Sean John, if you didn't know the music, you knew Sean John. If you didn't know Sean John, you knew Cassie. If you didn't know Cassie, you knew Young Miami. If you didn't know Young Miami, you knew all the artists he collabed with. I'm sure you know who Tupac, Biggie is. I'm sure you know who Faith Evans is. I'm sure you know about the Love album. I'm sure you know who Fat Joe is, DJ Khaled, Rick Ross. I'm sure you know who Kevin Hart is. I'm sure you know who Jamie Foxx is, right? Because, not saying Jamie Foxx was involved in all this. He said he didn't. But again, I'm sure you know the Kardashians. I'm sure you know Kanye West. Are you really trying to sit here on Al Gore's internet, juror number 6, and after you got dismissed, act like you had no opinion of Diddy at all because you only listen to you listen to reggaeton and Latino music? Y'all, does that even sound like anything? Listen, again, when I read that article, it made me think the judge might have had a point. And that maybe you do live in Jersey. I don't know. Maybe you do this. Whatever it is, there is an issue of candor. And the one thing that you want to worry, listen, usually people are running away from jury duty, running away, because who wants to have to sacrifice their life, their time, their money to come and sit for somebody's parking ticket? Now, it is a civic duty. I encourage everybody to do this. But yet and still, you get what I'm saying. Who wants to do all that? However, with the Diddy trial, it was different. Everybody showed up. We showed up. They showed up. Everybody showed up. However, why? Because let me tell you something. If you are on the jury, it is a big money thing, right? It is a big money thing if you are on the jury. You get to do the talk show circuit. You will become famous. You can write books. Every media outlet in the world is going to want you there to say something. You literally will decide so much. Now, I'm not saying that juror number 6 had any ulterior motives. I'm not. I am saying that I see the judge's point where he says, are you putting your hand on the scale because you really, really, really want to be here at the jury? And if somebody really, really wants to be there, then you got to wonder, do you have ulterior motives? E.L. Summers, good morning to you. Have a blessed day. I hope everybody had a happy Juneteenth. But again, this is what's going on in the actual Diddy trial, okay? What else is going on? Let's get back to these two jurors. If you guys don't know, the judge is supposed to rule on juror number 7 today. I think he's keeping it over. Juror number 7, that's a juror that Diddy wants removed because something happened. We can't talk about it because it's going to defy the judge's orders, and we are not getting kicked out of that courthouse. I'm sorry. I'm sure you've heard on other networks what it could have been. Nobody knows for sure, but there was information that was leaked to a news outlet. People are saying it was TMZ, but honestly, I don't honestly know. It could have been another outlet. Alejandro Aranda people. The judge literally said if it happens again, he's literally going to conduct a formal investigation where people are going to have to turn in their cell phone records, let them know what they're thinking, do all this stuff. Yes, Brendan Paul is testifying today, even though you guys, I got to be honest, Brendan Paul is actually testifying today, top of the morning. And then there's going to be a special agent. The defense says that they're ready to start their trial today. I do not believe that is true. Again, the federal government did not overcharge Diddy. And this is why Brian Still and all these people are struggling. They didn't overcharge Diddy, okay? What does that mean? It means that they have them in airtight things. See, usually sometimes state, and especially Fulton County, they overcharge, they overreach, they throw the spaghetti on the wall, and they try to prove it why they're in court by tripping people up. The feds don't do that. They wait to see, do you have airtight evidence? Do you have an airtight case? I am going to do later on today, is it RICO, after the prosecution rests their case? So we can go over and I can tell you exactly how it lines up with RICO. And we're going to go over sample jury instructions. We're doing an end of the day recap. After I do my Is It RICO presentation, if I have energy today, but definitely Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to actually do a call-in where you, kind of like a town hall, where you guys can call in. I'll answer questions from the chat. You don't have to super chat. I'll answer questions from the chat. You can call in and you can pepper and hammer me with questions. And maybe you don't have to agree with me. You just got to be respectful. Challenge the idea, not the person, is the model. Slay, what's up? What's up, Slay? Thank y'all, guys. Good morning, everybody. So what does that mean, right? It means that, Slay, welcome to the Tattle family, right? Yeah, I'm going to let you guys call in, ask questions. I'm going to have Mel on the 1s and 2s with me, if he will be ever so kind as to join. I'm going to have Mel on the 1s and 2s with me, doing the thing. What else can I tell you guys? Honestly, what is it? Brendan Paul. He's going to be testifying. He's going to one that's going to bring the RICO on the order. And he's going to be the one that gets KK and does the damn thing. Linda Mima, thank you so much. Brendan Paul was Diddy's assistant / rug mule. He's only been working with Diddy for the last 4 years, but that means that all the crimes are current. Let's not forget, the feds wanted to go back more than 20 years to charge Diddy with stuff, okay? Judge Aaron, unlike the first judge, actually limited it. There we go. Limited it. Why doesn't that sound right? My dyslexia is kicking my butt. Limited it. Anyway, he limited the thing to, they inquired it only 20 years. Now here's the funny thing. Diddy is like, everybody's saying Diddy's pushing for a mistrial, but if Diddy does get a mistrial, you realize that that doesn't mean anything, right? You realize that I'll be right back here. I don't care if they move this case to Nebraska. I'm going to be getting a room at the Holiday Inn, and Diddy can't hide his goons in Nebraska. I'll see them coming like, what y'all Harlem boys doing out here in this good Midwest town? But all jokes aside, okay, and we need to actually talk about this. When it comes to Ivy Stonewall said, in the words of Lauryn Hill, how you gonna win if you ain't right within? Ooh, ooh, how you gonna win? Ah. Lauryn Hill, she had me in my room thinking I could sing until I turned the music down, and I was like, oh, that's just her voice. Yeah. Anyway, right? So Brendan Paul said to pull KK in it and 100% be the drop mic on Rico. For everybody saying they don't see where Rico is, baby, they are walking around blindfolded. But we are going to do an Is It Rico either later on today if I have the energy, but definitely this weekend before the defense starts. Because again, the prosecution has his ass. D. Princess says Diddy is done. Brendan is just an extra at this point. The prosecution have put on a fabulous case. They 100% have. Maureen Comey, Emily, all of them. But y'all know Maureen Comey is my fave. Oh, she's my spirit animal in court. And especially when she starts doing that little gangster lean, you know she's about to cook. When Maureen Comey starts leaning to the side, mama is in her bag. Right? Holly Hadley, thank you so much for the super chat. But D, I agree with you. The prosecution put on a fabulous case in airtight. And let me just say this, right? There's a third juror that you know that's the reason we were off on Wednesday. Now, I wish that juror speedy health. I was thinking, I hope they call out again on Friday so we could get a 5-day weekend, but alas, it did not happen. We are back in the morning. Now, hopefully, all jokes aside, the juror is healthy, happy, everybody's back. However, Diddy said they wanted to inquire into their medical history to see if this is something that might happen again. Because if it is, they want to get that juror kicked off, which leads me to believe what? There is an alternate juror that for whatever reason, Diddy must feel like he made a connection with. Diddy must feel like if he can get, again, what is going on in Diddy's mind that he thinks if he can get a black man or an Afro-Latino man on the jury, they're going to do a hung jury? Do you think that they are just co-signing on your freak-off foolishness? Do you think that is the way of the wolf? I honestly don't know what's going on. Oh, also, there's so much stuff going on with the Diddy stuff. Also, Brendan, listen, Brendan is going to be the mic drop moment, but I think also he's going to pull in KK and a lot of the other co-conspirators. I do honestly believe he's going to pull in KK. Why does my hair look off? It could be because my part's off. He's going to bring in KK and he's going to bring in KK and a lot of the other co-conspirators. I do believe that KK is going to have charges brought up on her. You cannot tell me she isn't. Also, Thelma Johnson, thank you for the super chat. And Rap and Wrestling, thank you so much. Oh my God, did I hear about Fat Joe? Yes, I did a video. I think I was the one that broke that. Well, no, that's not true. Variety broke it. But I was the first person on YouTube to talk about that case. But don't worry, we are going to delve into that lawsuit. It is a doozy. Do you know that in there they accused him of putting a hit out on 50 Cent? To which I had to smirk and be like, yo, what is going on with 50 Cent? Is this not the third or fourth hit that man got out on him? Also, you guys, don't forget, if you guys are looking for ways to support, I do have merch. We have Yana, the Diddler Did It t-shirts. Yana, Diddy Did It t-shirts. We have the merch. We have mugs. We have Stanley cups. We have t-shirts, tank tops, totes. We got all that mess. I'm going to start doing fashion shows next week. And we're going to keep doing merch with Listen, Your Honor, and all that stuff. So where does this actually leave us? I mean, I'll be honest with you. With Diddy, what happens today with the jurors is going to be something really, really big. And it could change, of course, the whole direction of this case. D. Princess said, Diddy's team's pushing to remove juror number 7 insists the judge needs to investigate. Here's the thing. He's not just pushing to remove juror number 7. The juror that was sick on Wednesday, let's just call them juror number 8. I don't know if these numbers are the actual jurors. I'm just using 6 because they're out, then 7, then 8. Juror number 8, because they were out for vertigo, they want to get into the medical records, because if they can't get juror number 7 down, they're going to go to juror number 8 and see if juror number 8 can actually be pushed back, right? They're going to see if it can actually be pushed out. Again, there is an alternate that is coming down next that Diddy swears will be the one. Diddy will be the 100% a chance of him going free. Now listen, it's not just the mistrial, because Brian still, he's trying his best, but he's being largely, as good of a lawyer as he is, as brilliant as he is, Brian still is used to dealing with the Fulton County. Brian still's used to dealing with state prosecution that throws it at him. People are like, oh, how come that's all they got Diddy charged with? Because the feds don't pay for the wall. The feds get airtight crimes that can put you away for a lifetime. They don't need to get anything sexual. Listen, like, oh, it was murder. They got you dead to rights with this. They can put you away for the rest of your life. That's all they care about. Again, remember Al Capone when it came to tax evasion. Did they get him for any of the suspected stuff? No, they took that mofo out and got him off the street on tax evasion. And that is largely how the feds actually work, right? Listen, somebody said I want to meet Maureen Comey so much. She seems like an awesome person and fights for victims. Again, I don't know her, of course, but she seems like she is a key in the court. Now, listen, there are going to be surprise witnesses on Diddy's side, even though he says he's only taking a week for his defense. G. Prasm, welcome to the Tattletales family. And Virginia Martinez said the feds win over not even 95. I think they win 98%. The Southern District of New York wins 98.7% of their cases. Hey, good morning. How are you? And Mosa, am I in your way here? I'll move on. Are you sure? Okay. Let me know if you need me to move. Hit me with the broom and be like, move. They said the feds win over 95% of their cases. They also take twice as long to hear. I'll move on. They also take twice as long to investigate their cases. And this is why the percentage of wins is higher than state prosecutions. Go Tisa. Also, let's get real. State prosecutions have different ways of doing things, okay? The feds literally they have more access. They can investigate better. They can do more stuff. State prosecution is a little bit different. Again, they kind of like argue it while, right? They kind of argue it while you are on the stand, and they wallpaper it, and they bring in witnesses, and they actually make people investigate and do all that stuff on the stand, okay? That's why when people go for state cases, some of it, right? I was moving out the way. I hate to be in people's way while they're working. Also, Matrice Crawford, thank you so much for the super chat. But again, state cases and federal cases are done. The feds, by the time they got you, baby, you in their traps, right? You're in their traps. I will say this. The feds are more like an anaconda, and the DAs are more like lions, right? A lion will get you, but you're chasing down the antelope. And there are some lucky antelope that can run quicker than the lion. However, with an anaconda, by the time you know an anaconda has you in their sights, baby, they are already squeezing. You're already done. Once you realize that you are in the anaconda, like the anaconda got their eyes on you, baby, you about to die. They are squeezing. They are squeezing. So DAs are like lions. They see someone, they chase you down. Sometimes they can get the antelope. Sometimes the antelope escapes. We've all seen Nature Wild Kingdom, right? Planet Earth. However, the prosecution is more, Susan, thank you so much for the super chat. The prosecution is more like an anaconda. D Princess says, Diddy took himself down, nobody else. Exactly. Diddy took himself down. And you know the thing is, he had 20 years to stop. He had 20 years to do better. He had 20 years to actually just turn over a new leaf. And he didn't. Even with Jane Doe, the one thing she did prove is that he was still acting amok and beating and doing all this stuff. And guess what? That's why they're so worried about Jane Doe suing, because at the end of the day, Jane Doe has statute of limitations, criminal domestic violence, criminal abuse. There's so much state charges that Jane Doe can bring them down. Hey, good morning. I'm pretty good. There's so many state charges that Jane Doe can bring against Diddy. Becky Gloven, thank you so much for the super chat. And BJ Kennard said, blessing and the Lord's protection be with you always. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. Matrice Crawford, welcome to the family. And Davina Teasley said, is Brendan definitely testifying today? He is the first witness on the stand. He is definitely testifying today. And then after that, there's going to be a federal agent. I think that's the one that actually arrested him. A federal agent is going to be the one. A federal agent's going to be the one, and that's when they're just going to confirm what he said, where he was arrested, what was found on him, this, that, and the third, and also any electronics that were seized. Mel NYC Reviews, what's up, Mel? Said, thank God it's Friday. Stay cool and comfortable on a hot day. I will. Char said, let's get those likes up. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, y'all, too. And Davina Teasley said, TT, do your thing, girl. I get all my news from you. Hell, I'm watching at work. You go, girl. Thank you, Davina. Your boss ain't talking about anything. They ain't talking about anything. They've been bugging you since, 2 weeks ago? The report will get there when the report gets there. All right? When she said, hope they go after TriStar, too. Isn't it interesting that Robin Kelly, TriStar Entertainment's name has been all up and down this lawsuit? Interesting. I know that Robin Kelly also manages Cardi B's stuff. Now, I'm not saying she was involved in any of that freak off, right? I am saying this. Remember when Diddy's house got raided? And then Cardi B went on live and she said that she had gotten swatted too, and the feds had rolled up to her house too. No, the LAPD had rolled up to her house and made her strip down butt naked and raided her house, and everybody was like, oh my God, what's doing the Cardi? It happened to Cardi B too. And then it was so bad, the LAPD came out and said, what are you talking about? That never happened. And then she came back and she's like, oh no, I meant, and they're like, yeah, again, that never happened. We never did that. We never graded you. You never did this. And then later on, she's like, oh, I was just joking. You were joking about your house getting raided too, the same day Diddy's house was getting raided, to pull focus and to distract. Now, I kept thinking, why would she do that? Is she that tight with Diddy? It seemed like you were doing, maybe it was a weird coincidence, but it seemed like you were doing Diddy a favor. And then when I saw that they had that same business manager, Robin Kelly, let's not forget, how did we find out that? Because remember when the Daily Mail said that they was about to lose that house in Georgia, and Offset was like a gambler, and Cardi B was still trying to act like he was the perfect man until we found out that she was probably buying all that ish herself, and if she wasn't, he wants it back. Yo, I'm glad Cardi B is doing Offset dirty. He deserves it. He deserves it, right? But I know she feels stupid for cursing everybody out because everybody was telling her the type of man she had. But, she had to see it for herself. The whole point in this long out rambling is the fact that Robin Kelly, Cardi B posted some, hold on, I have to go in. Cardi B posted some, Miss V to be real. Thank you so much for the super chat. And also B Dizzle said, I used to double tap for the first time ever. Hail Mary. What do we have here now? By the way, you almost made me spit up my drink last week with your reenactments. Lady, you brought us out. Thank you, B Dizzle. Anyway, Robin Kelly, Cardi B Exposed, was also her business manager. So it made me think, TriStar. I know. It made me think. Sorry. They were telling me to get off the steps.
Thank you.
No problem. They made me stop filming on the step. He came like, I know you know to stop filming. Sorry, I was walking up filming. So anyway, yes, all the people in the courthouse know my foolery. It is what it is. In any case, right? Brandy Southern Girl said, Tisa, I want and order a bracelet that says, Your Honor. You know what? We will get a bracelet. Also, Creed's Love said, you got your mug. Thank you so much, mama. Yes, let's get this merch. You guys, there is a link to merch in there. Also, Donna W said, child, my head can't stop nodding while you're talking. Blessings to you. Okay, y'all, listen. Oh, and Ice Barbie 207. Thank you for being a member for 23 months. And you said, I love the way you connect the dots. Again, right? Listen. Wow. Listen, at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, it is what it is. There's a lot of connections to be made. Hollywood is a very, very small club. It is what it is, and it will continue to be what it is. And anyway, you guys, listen, I have to go into the courthouse. I will see you guys later. I'm going to come and run right after Brendan Paul's testimony, let you know what's going on. I'm going to stay for the cross. But yeah, this is Judgment Day. And as soon as I find out what's going on with those jurors, I'm going to run down and tell y'all so y'all know what to do. Double tap, Your Honor. Actually, there's a line in security. So, wait, no, the line's getting shorter. All right, let me get in and go to work. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Oh, also don't forget merch. I'm going to put a link in the description box